For them, that's the highest they can go. But you can upgrade from there if you started with what? With a diploma. So I've talked about the different type of institutions we have. I want specifically to move to the area of programs. I want us to move to the area of programs. Now, programs is what you people call courses that you want to offer at the university. In the National Council, we call them programs, but what I know generally when we are applying is, which course are you doing? So I want us to focus on that, have a feel of it before we go and sit in reality the other side. Now, I want you to note that the National Council is a body that gives permission to higher education institutions. First to run, to operate. We first allow them, license them to operate. Then after that, we also license or allow them to run particular programs. And I want you to be keen now at this stage. So I've said the National Council is a body that gives permission to higher education institutions to run courses of study. For example, a university may be recognized to offer medicine, but has no permission to offer law. When you study law from that university, your qualification will not be recognized. So what are we saying as National Council is that a student should always ensure that the course of study chosen or you enroll on is recognized by the National Council for Higher Education. So be very, very keen when you go there. The first thing ask them is your institution license. Two, I need to do medicine in your university. Is that program approved by the National Council? And by the way, approval is not done once. Someone might be say a university like Makerere, you say it has been there for a very long period, so it's approved. No, after every 5 years we reapprove. Again, we approve. They have to. So get all the details. So as you move around the exhibition stalls, ask if the program you want to pursue is approved by the National Council. The other thing I want you to know of before so they are giving out some soft drinks as we continue. Just take them and silently so that we don't disorganize the short discussion that we are having. Another thing I want you to get to know before you go the other side is that National Council will also set the minimums admissions for different courses. So have this in mind that if you are going to enroll for a bachelor's degree, the senior force bachelor's degree does not mean those who are not married. The bachelor's degree means your first what? Degree. If you want to enroll for the first degree in any institution, the first year district, take this seriously, you must have achieved or attained at least 2 principal passes at A level. Those in senior 6 note that you must have attained at least 2 principal passes at A level, and those 2 principal passes should have been obtained at the same sitting. Don't say, me last year I was in the other school, I got 1 principal pass. I got A or O, I didn't qualify. This year, I have again tried it. I have another A, another subject, but with OOs. Now I think I have 2 principal passes. No, the 2 principal passes must be at the same sitting. So make sure at least you have 2 principal passes, but you don't qualify. Those in the senior 4, I want you to get this one. You still, even if you get AAs, triple A in senior 6, but you did not get at least 5 passes at O level. Even if you get triple A's in senior 6, you don't qualify to join the university. So I want these friends of mine who are in senior 4 to be very serious, to know that what you are doing in senior 4 matters. You must make sure at least you have a minimum of 5 passes at O level. At also obtain at the same sitting. Don't carry again. It's, I repeated, I got more passes. They should all have been obtained at the same sitting. So that's the key criteria if you are going for any degree program in this country. There are those who may possibly wish also to go for the diploma. But I think, I don't know whether the senior force got for me when I say 2 principal passes. I know those in year 6, that this is not a new thing to you. Principal passes range from A, B, C, D, up to E. And then when you get an O, that's a subsidiary. The other thing is I've generalized it, that when you are going in for a bachelor's degree, you need a what? I've made it very clear that you need to have 2 principal passes and then 6 subsidiaries. But there are some requirements which are specific to different courses. Let's say you want to do B.Com, you want to do B accounting. Primarily before, there was always an argument that you need to have done mathematics and economics. Now there's an element of liberalism. So long as you do well, even in your arts with your history, if you have got good scores, you can do a business course. Even law, which you had limited prior to literature, economics, history, even my friend here of chemistry, if you can be subjected to entry exams and you pass, you can do it. So I just want you now to open up your mind. The rigidity that we had before and the modifications that have come in. Now, for colleagues who are tailored towards the sciences, they say you came with mind, I want to do pharmacy, nursing, medicine. At least at your senior 6, that's A level and O level, the key subjects that we consider is chemistry and biology. You have to pass them. Not passing them only at A level. You also need to look at your results, because they also look at your results at O level in those particular subjects. So note that, especially colleagues or friends who are still senior 4, ensure if you are having that inclination, I want to do medicine, I want to do nursing, ensure your performance in chemistry and biology is really outstanding. This does not mean that you leave other subjects, because you will need to pass them as well. You know that? Let me give you an example to know that that is very, very important. That you don't need to, let's assume you are doing BCM, but your target is to do what? Medicine. And then I'm just giving a vivid example. The cutoff is, let's say, 45 what? Points. Now, how do we calculate this, just for you to have in mind? We shall get the other first 2 I told you, the essential ones. And let's assume you have A's only, triple A. So we shall get your triple A, which is equivalent to 6 what? Points, and we give it a value of 3. So we get your 6 in chemistry times 3. 6 times 3 mathematicians? 18. Put it there. Then we go to biology. Even in your biology, you have got an A. We also give it a value of 3. So again, that's how many? 18. 18 plus 18, what do you get? 36. That you still not qualify to do medicine. That's why the other subject of mathematics or physics is also important, but we give it a lower value, weight of 2. So if you have an A, let's say in mathematics and physics, we shall get the 6 again times 2. What do you get? 12. 12 plus 36. Now you see, 48, you're already now in the range. You can now qualify. But there are also subsidiaries. If you have your sub-math, you have your computer, you have your general paper, so it can also add in. But if the worst come to the worst, that you're on the borderline, we also go to how you performed again. Friends again who are in senior 4, we go also to what you, to see how you performed in O level. So value what you are doing in O level. Those in HSC just capitalize and do a good work. Those who are inclined towards engineering programs, the key areas, the essential ones, 2 subjects will be mathematics and physics. Excel in those. Then the one you have added on, whether biology or whatever, or chemistry, will come in also to help you to qualify. Why I'm saying you don't ignore the subject? Because the two will not help you to qualify, but to give you the course. So you must pass all, but you need to excel on the key essential, in the key essential subjects. Hope that's clear. If there's anything, we shall clarify when we give you a short session of questions. Now, I need to emphasize this as you go. Never, try always, never, especially those in year 6, never apply to any institution if you do not have the minimum admission requirements. Now, there's a challenge that we have. There are many institutions that are advertising given on what? In the media, in different forums. They even tell you we shall give you what? Bursaries. And sometimes some of us from background, which is not very well economically, when we see this, we get excited and we just go in. So you end up joining an institution, you spend even the little that you have, but at the end of the day, your qualification is not considered because you went to an institution which is not approved. I think let me use the word licensed by the National Council for Higher Education, and they're just running their programs for making money. So you need to be keen. And that should be a key question for everybody when you go to those stalls. Ask them. But another thing, good thing is that when you pass through the National Council, we have a stall there. They are going to give you a team leader a list of all recognized institutions in the country. Then at the end of this presentation, we are also going to give you a website address for the National Council. All these details are there. If you want to know, is this institution approved? You can just check on the website from your own institution. Is this program? You can just check on the website. So shall I give you all those details? But still, when you go the other side, try to get as much information as you can. The other thing I want you to have in mind before you go is the duration of programs. When you are planning, you need to plan and say, the type of course I want. How long does it take? Now, most of the courses at the university on general take about 3 years minimum. Most of them. There are some peculiarities in some programs that you need where you will stay a little bit longer. So when you are planning, you need to have that in mind. Especially like in the area of health sciences, at least a minimum of 4. And majority of them like medicine 5 years. So you can plan for that at least when you are. Then courses like engineering, at least 4 years. Architecture, 5 years. Law, 4 years. So you can see that the duration varies, but most of the social science courses will take you 3 years. The diplomas, the majority will take you a minimum at least, a minimum of 2 academic years. So it's good always to know. So you can see, I have already outlined how you can access higher education. And I want to go back to what I had told you, that at least you have to get 2 principal passes at A level, 5 passes at O level, obtained at the same sitting. Now, the government, through the National Council for Higher Education, which is one of our mandates, is to try to ensure that as many Ugandans as possible access higher education. So he said there's another arm we have come up, where you find that my friend here was a very good student, but possibly by the time of doing exams, things didn't work out well. From his PCB, he got A, O, O. So from what I had given you before, he doesn't qualify to join. But there is another angle now, which he can use. With 1 principal passes, that's what we call HEC. HEC is Higher Education Certificate. Now, Higher Education Certificate helps students who did not get 2 principal passes, but they are actually capable. So what happens is that we have set up in 2 programs, one on the science sides, having the basic sciences, and another one on the arts for those who are inclined toward the social sciences. So what happens is that we have a few universities that have already started this program. They enroll you for the first year, you do that basic program. When you do and you fail, It's not a guarantee that when you do, you will have to pass, because they will assess you at the end of the year. When you fail, I think they would have been fair enough to you, and would also have been fair enough to you. First you did UNEP, things didn't work out well. Now you have even been given heck, things have also not worked well. But in case you go through, they assess you and you qualify, they can now enroll you for the program you wanted, but you start as a first year. This 1 year you have done is not counted as part of your bachelor's degree program. So they take you for your degree lesson in agriculture, but you start just in what? First year student in agriculture. So have that in mind. The other thing I want to bring to your notice is in your process of career choice is what influences your choice. One of the aspects that you need to have are your grades. Try to examine yourself. You are in senior 6. You have been passing through education system from primary, O-level, now you are in HSC. What has been your performance? At least gauge the courses as you talk with your teachers. Gauge the value, the weight attached to these courses, so that you get a realistic course. Not just because my friend Jenny has picked this, let me also pick that. It also happens. My friend Jenny has picked a particular secondary school. Let me also put it as my first choice. That shouldn't be the reason. Gauge yourself. Look at your capabilities in terms of grades. The other things is interest. Yesterday I was talking to one of your colleagues. He said, me, that combination, I just took it because of my mom. She's the one who insisted I should do that. Less your interest, especially those friends of mine who are still in O-level. Start sharing this with your parents, so that they get to know your interests as well. Even if you're bright, if you just went in for a course for the sake of going in, you will not perform well. So the element of interest is very, 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 very key. The other reason I want you to look at is opportunities for progression. If I do this program, and can I progress? I start, let's say, with a diploma. Can I go in for a bachelor's in the same area? Can I continue to a master's degree in the same area? Can I even go ahead and get a PhD in the same area? So that progression, you should also look at it. Then the other thing I want you to have in mind is also, when you are making your choice, is the market demand of what you want to do. Try to focus, talk to people and know about what is happening in the market. Is this course worth it doing? And by the way, when I'm talking about market demand, I don't mean that you should finish and there is a job for you. No, that's not the case. I would prefer where you go for a course, when you finish, you can start a job, create jobs for others, employ yourself, and also create jobs for others. That should be the way to go. So try to internalize the nature of course or the program that you are thinking of and see how far it can take you. The other thing I want you to have in mind is to try as much as possible to do what? To consult as many people as possible. Just briefly, I want to comment on funding. And then, because in the interest of time, I know we don't have the same background, but the first key sure deal of how you can get funding is to perform and excel, so that you are taken by government on government sponsorship straight away. So work harder and get your best. The other aspect is the quota system. You know, that is given to the districts. Now, this one depends on where you are. Each district is given a quota. The performance is gauged according to how the performance in the district. Then the other one, which is becoming very popular, is the one of the higher education scholarship or loan scheme by the government. By the way, we have a stall there. There are people from the higher education loan scheme. Also, when you reach there, ask as many questions as possible, how you can access such loans. And then when you also go to those institutions in the stall there, also ask them. They also have, some of them have bursaries. Some even have bursaries of those who excel in sports and games, especially for the sports and games ladies. Ask them, do you have something for us? So have that in mind. So I want just to give you our website. If there is something, I thought we would have it here. We don't have, you can't see it. Now, our website, that's for the National Council, note it somewhere, or you can consult it wherever and whenever you are. Our website is www.nac.go.ke. Uche. www.unche.or.ug. And if you want any information, you can also use this email from the National Council, IFO. IFO is INFO at unche.or.ug. I think that can be a general guiding aspect. So in the interest of time, I just want to, I think my two colleagues are behind, raise 1-2 questions, then we direct you how you can move to the stalls. Any area which was not clear where you may need clarification, we can at least give one person from each institution. Anybody from, oh, there's somebody from Gayaza there?
For the interest of time, shall receive only 2 questions, one from this side, another one from this side.
Good morning. My name is Nanyunja Hadija from Gayaza High School, and I have 2 questions about the higher education certificate. Is this certificate available in all universities? Also, in the event that, because I do physics, economics, and math, in the event that after my exams, I change my mind and I want to do like a medical course, can I go for a higher education certificate and change to and maybe do biology and chemistry?
Just start again. I didn't get the first statement. Okay. If you have.
My first question was, is this higher education certificate available to all universities? Also, in the event that I have finished my exams and I go for this education certificate, because maybe I did history and I want to do now a medical course, can I go for this certificate and do biology and chemistry to get into med school?
Thank you very much, my friend from Gayaza. That's a very good question. She's asking of the higher education certificate that I mentioned. In case you do not get 2 principal passes, you have 1. Now we have 2 lines. We have set up minimum standards we have put up a program, one for the biologicals, the scientists, if you want to take the science side. And there's also one for the social scientists, if you want to take the art side. So when the university enrolls you, they will be knowing, or you would have already given details of your side. So if it's biologicals, they will train you in biologicals and you qualify for that. It's not like you did history and then you swap. So they will prepare you, and I have said this, that it's not automatic that you will pass. You have to work for it. You get it? And then you will progress and then you do whatever program that you want. Can we have Dr. Justina, somebody from that side, and we finish up?
Thank you, thank you.
Anybody from Bombo Army School? Anything which was not clear? Any additional thing? Okay. Now let's, oh, she's in front here, Justina. Let's give just a list also to the Bombo Army School.
Good morning, members. Sir, I'm just asking for your pardon for the loan schemes.
Thank you. Okay, I will just be brief, but I have told you, now since you have the interest, when you are moving throughout there, get their stall and get as many questions as possible. But you are talking of the loan scheme provided by the government. Now, this loan scheme is intended to help the disadvantaged in the sense that we come from families where the monies may not be there, but we want to study. The knowledge is there. So what do you do? Every year they advertise. So you will apply and they look at the details because they will ask you about your family background and whatever. When they know, assess and you are fit, you will be given the loan scheme. It's not money given for you freely. It's not a grant, it's a loan. A loan means at the end you have to pay back. Now, your question possibly may be, how do I pay back? You only pay back when you have finished. They will keep your records. When you get a job when you have finished, that money should be paid back. But when you go there, get more details from them. Now I want to direct you how you are going to move. We shall have one group moving and then the other. Dr. Semamba, is there an announcement? Okay, thank you. So we shall have the Gayaza team, but let me give you possibly the last word as you go, especially those who are in senior 6. Time is running out for you. So there are 2 key things that you need to have in mind, especially my friends who are senior 6, remain focused, remain disciplined. It usually happens that when students are moving towards exams, it's after all we are leaving the school, they can do anything, spoil things, remain disciplined, respect all of the people in the school, even the cooks, even the cleaners, they are still viable. Value your teachers, value your colleagues, continue discussing among yourselves, and the most important thing, don't forget to pray. The language in which you pray, the God to whom you pray may not matter, but at least have a God that you can pray to. Then at the end of the day, we shall hear you have very, very good scores. So can I request, let's first have the Gayaza team moving. Do I have some ushers here? Some ushers?
The usher is here.
Okay. Gayaza team, could you like to stand up? I want us to be separate a bit so that we don't congest ourselves. And the career masters, ensure you pick the certificate for your institution from the National Council for Higher Education stall. It's just at the entrance on your left. Actually, the usher first go to our stall so that the career master gets the place. Don't forget to pick your certificate and the goodies for your institution. Can I have another usher? Now, colleagues from my friends from the Army School, when you reach there, you are many. Don't all move to one stall at a go. We have, I've told you, so many over 70. At least divide yourselves, but at the end of the day, you will come back to the entrance. Is that okay? So can you stand up? The usher will lead you. You take them to our stall, the National Council stall, and the career master should keep also pick their goodies before leaving.